Health scare is forcing a pause on one of the 3 approved vaccines, and now state health officials are scrambling to make sure that you can get your shot.
The federal and state pause on the Johnson&Johnson vaccine comes after 6 women developed blood clots following their shots, and one of them has died. Now, Washington health officials don't believe any of those people live here, but the pause, of course, comes just 2 days before vaccinations open up for all adults in the state. The number of Johnson&Johnson vaccine doses being administered in our state is far lower than Pfizer and Moderna, but state health leaders expected nearly 20,000 doses to arrive by the end of the month. And the contingency plans for this major move looks different depending on where you live.
And we're bringing you live team coverage of the fallout. We start with Q13's Grace Lim, who is explaining what you need to look for if you got the Johnson&Johnson vaccine. Grace?
Yeah, the Washington State Department of Health says the Johnson&Johnson blood clot risk is less than 1 in a million, and we shouldn't be skeptical about the vaccine. However, if you received the single shot within the past 3 weeks, there are some symptoms to look for.
The chances are small. I mean, it's still scary knowing that there could be a chance.
Karen Chang received the Johnson&Johnson vaccine 11 days ago and will be monitoring her symptoms carefully after 6 women who got the single shot developed rare but serious side effects, including brain blood clots combined with low platelet count. The FDA says the women were between the ages of 18 and 48 years old and developed symptoms 6 to 13 days after vaccination. Today, the State Department of Health says anyone who received the Johnson&Johnson vaccine within 3 weeks and develops a severe headache, abdominal pain, leg pain, or shortness of breath should contact their health care provider. Nearly 7 million Americans received the Johnson&Johnson shot so far with little to no side effects. And while doctors say adverse events are extremely rare, injections of the single shot came to a sudden pause across the country out of an abundance of caution.
We recognize that this is a very rare side effect, 1 in a million. And it is absolutely critical that we emphasize that one of the reasons that the federal government and our federal partners went forth with putting this pause in place is they wanted doctors and healthcare providers to have enough time to understand how better and best to treat if somebody comes in with these symptoms. We're working with our partners so that we can identify where the vaccine has gone and also work behind the scenes so that they are not delivering or administering any more of that vaccine until the pause is lifted.
The DOH says the Johnson&Johnson vaccine makes up only 6% of the vaccines in the state and believes there will be minimal impacts to the state's reopening or vaccine eligibility.
We're confident that this vaccine pause for Johnson&Johnson will be lifted in a matter of time. And once that's lifted, the appropriate discussions can be had with clinicians that we do believe that this vaccine is going to be back in the mix to be a 3rd vaccine that can be delivered both safely and effectively to our community members.
Okay, so what's next if you had an appointment for the Johnson&Johnson vaccine? Mayor Jenny Durkin says if you had an appointment with the city of Seattle, you will receive the Pfizer vaccine. The Tacoma-Pierce County Health Department says it will switch to the Moderna vaccine. And for pharmacies like CVS and Rite Aid, they will reschedule you for either Pfizer or Moderna. Live in the newsroom, Grace Lim, Q13 News.